You're 17, on your hands and knees in your mom's living room, ripping up the old beige carpet she's hated since you were born. The Home Depot down the street wanted $2.99 a square foot just for the life-proof plus install. 26 years later, you sign the papers in a Modesto law office and walk out with $84 million. Between those two moments sits an industry losing 4,000 to 6,000 installers every year, with an average age of 56. This is every level of a flooring installer's career in America, and what it actually costs to climb. If you like breakdowns of how careers actually progress, like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1. The Helper. You're 17 and the cube truck pulls into the driveway at 5:45 in the morning. The lead installer says nothing. He hands you a Home Depot utility knife and points at the back doors. Inside the Ford E350 sit 8 rolls of Shaw carpet pad. You hump them, one by one, into a 12 by 14 bedroom in a tract house in the next subdivision over. Then you come back for the carpet. You make $14 to $18 an hour. The customer pays $5 to $8 a square foot. You cut the old carpet into 3-foot strips, roll them, tape them, stack them by the curb. The shop vac eats staples and grit off the bare plywood. Your knees go numb on the slab by 7 a.m. Tack strip bites your knuckles open. You keep working. The lead snaps a chalk line for the seam and tells you to stand on it. At 10:30 he sends you for donuts and a Pepsi at the gas station, and you come back with the wrong kind and he eats them anyway. You stop noticing the smell of fresh pad. By Friday the foreman knows your name. He hands you a Roberts knee kicker and says, "Hook it on the strip, then let go." The carpet bites. The room is done. You cash your first check and it clears. A guy named John Schenk finished the 10-week FCEF program at Chattanooga State and was fielding apprenticeship offers within days. You start asking what that program costs. The lead says Level 2 is where you stop caring for somebody else. Level 2. The Carpet and LVP Mechanic. You're 22, and the truck is yours now. A leased Ram ProMaster with your phone number on the side. You get paid by the yard. $3.50 per square yard of carpet labor. A 100-yard day is $350 in your pocket, and a 100-yard day is a long one. You roll out 6-pound rebond pad and staple it with a Bostitch hammer tacker, 1 staple every 6 inches along the seam. You trim the pad half an inch off the tack strip with a loop pile cutter. You dry fit the carpet with the arrow up. You iron the seam with a Roberts seam iron, 3-inch hot melt tape, and the burnt glue smell never quite leaves your truck. The customer pays $6 a square foot installed. You make $3.50 a yard. You stop saving the pay stubs. Your right palm grows a permanent callus from the kicker. The power stretcher snaps locked across a master bedroom, and the carpet pulls tight as a drum. On Tuesday, a retiring mechanic in Grand Rapids hands you his crane power stretcher across the tailgate of his truck. Knees gave out before this thing did, and walks off without taking money for it. You meet a woman named Crystal Sims at a preferred flooring job site up there, a National Installer of the Year finalist. She looks at your seam, nods once, and says, "We're definitely in an installation crisis." Then she says you should learn LVP. The next week, you're click-locking life-proof planks at $2.99 a square foot in a kitchen, in a 1/3 stagger, cutting end pieces on a vinyl plank cutter. No dust, no saw. The homeowner tips you $40 and asks for your card. You go home with the truck. You go home with the truck, and the seam holds. Level 3. The Multi-Surface Lead. You're 28. You make $30 an hour, and the BLS median for the trade is $52,000 a year. You're not a carpet guy anymore. You're a tile guy, a hardwood guy, a self-leveler guy, a man with a Lägler Hummel sander in the back of the van and a bag of Mapei thinset under the passenger seat. The customer is paying for a master bath remodel, 12 by 24 porcelain, herringbone. The wife saw it on Instagram. You check the subfloor with an 8-foot straight edge. The dip is 3/16 over 10 feet. You pour Ardex self-leveler across 600 square feet of kitchen and watch it find its own water. You roll Schluter Ditra into unmodified thinset. You snap chalk lines from the center of the room. You dry lay the first row. You mix a 50-pound bag of thinset in a 5-gallon bucket on a Milwaukee drill, comb it with a 1/4-inch square-notch trowel, back butter every tile. You wet cut on a DeWalt wet saw. Silica water misting your forearms because the OSHA silica rule caps you at 50 micrograms per cubic meter, and dry cutting tile reads up to nearly 9 times the legal limit. You set tile in a running bond. You check lippage with a leveling system, Then on Thursday, the homeowner flips the breaker before the thinset cures. The first 6 tiles lift. You sit in the truck for 10 minutes and eat a sandwich. Then you go back in and pull every tile in the row, scrape the slab clean, recomb, and reset on your own dime, on your own time, before the wife sees. The grout goes in Saturday. The bathroom is perfect. The wife sends a photo to her sister and gets you 2 more bids by Monday. A guy named Sal DiBlasi from Elite-Tile Company in Boston runs a YouTube channel grading the certified tile installer hands-on test for the Ceramic Tile Education Foundation. And he calls it the toughest 25 square feet of tile you'll ever install. You watch every video, twice. You start studying for it. You sand red oak with the Hummel, 36 grit to 80, the dust pluming off the belt and fogging the work light. You roll 2 coats of Bona-Traffic finish with an applicator pad. You nail 3/4 white oak with a power nail 50p flex, 1 cleat every 8 inches, the pneumatic thock echoing through an empty house. You stop counting jobs. A wood floor journeyman drops his old Lägler at your shop after 1 job together, doesn't say a word, and drives off. You sit with it in the bay for an hour. The next morning, you sign for your first commercial bid packet. A school corridor, 35,000 square feet of carpet tile, weekend shutdown. You're not a mechanic anymore. Level 4. The Foreman. You're 35. You run a crew of 6. On Davis-Bacon prevailing wage public work in the city, an NYC Local 14 floor coverer, journey worker base wage runs $50.15 an hour, plus $17.25 an hour in supplemental benefits, and your overtime sheets cross $100,000 a year. The school job is Saturday at 6 a.m., and the crew is in the parking lot in matching shirts, drinking gas station coffee. You give the tailgate talk, silica, PPE, the 2 emergency exits, the location of the dumpster. Then you walk the building. You take moisture readings with a concrete moisture meter, document relative humidity per ASTM standard, paperclip the printout to the binder. You order glue and tile to the loading dock. You snap center lines down a corridor longer than a football field. The crew trowels pressure-sensitive adhesive and lays Mohawk carpet tile in a quarter-turn pattern, box by box, 600 boxes by Sunday night. Cuts at the perimeter with a hook blade. Transitions at every doorway. Punch list with the architect Monday morning. He flags 2 tiles for replacement. You replace them before lunch. You sign install apprentice time cards through the United Brotherhood. 6,000 hours of training and 144 hours a year of classroom. And your first-year kid, a 19-year-old from the Bronx, lays his first solo room without a callback. A man named Junior Mercado runs a Christian Brothers flooring crew out in Lakeside, California, and the National Tile Contractors Association names him 2024 Commercial Tile Setter Craftsperson of the Year for work that includes the porcelain at Petco Park. He says seeing a tile project that I have been a part of and how it endures is a testament to the beauty of the world of tile. You photo document closeout. You submit the certified payroll. The GC signs the invoice. The check clears in 19 days. You start parking the truck around the corner from the showroom because you've started looking at the showroom differently. You start looking at it like it could be yours. Level 5. The owner-operator. You're 44. Your shop does $2 million in revenue. You draw $200,000 a year. You sign payroll Friday for 14 W-2 installers and 6 1099 subcrews. And Kay Whitner at the FCEF says on the record, "We need to re-examine our approach to the 1099 contractor services." You read it twice and keep paying your guys both ways. You bid a 60-unit multifamily tenant turn against Empire Today's commercial division and you win it because you measured every unit with a Leica laser and they measured off the floor plan. You buy 4,000 square feet of Shaw Resilient Direct from a Gallagher rep. Gallagher, now owned by Transom Capital, 36 locations across 7 states, and you mark it up 30% retail. You hit the Shaw SFN 365 program tier, and the rebate statement lands. A standard 5% on purchases, and the rebate is the margin. The showroom is a loss leader. You renew the California C15 flooring license, a $25,000 contractor bond on file with the CSLB, and you sign the next Ford Transit wrap order for $40,000. A man named Bob Nichols, who founded Flooring Partners in Baltimore in 1990, sells the company to a Rainier Partners-backed firm called SCI Flooring on the 5th of August, 2025. 26 employee owners ride the sale. You read the press release in your truck at a Wawa parking lot. You print it out. You staple it to the corkboard above your desk. The CFO you hired in March hands you the P&L on payroll Friday, and the year is going to clear 2.4. The kid in Bay 3 is making $14.90 an hour, draining a roll of pad off the truck for a Civic-owning homeowner in the next subdivision over. You don't tell him you used to be him. You hire a broker. Level 6. The exit. You're 53. The broker brings a deck to the conference room. Live Ventures Incorporated. NASDAQ listed, ticker LIVE, looking to roll up regional flooring shops. They want 20 warehouse format stores, 625 employees and contractors, $125 million a year in revenue. Steve Kellogg, who founded Flooring Liquidators and Modesto in 1997, signed his deal on January 19, 2023, $84 million, financed through cash, a $5 million promissory note from Isaac Capital Group, and 116,441 shares of Live Ventures common stock. 3.78% dilution. You read his quote in the press release, "We're very proud of what we've accomplished." You sit with that one. You walk the warehouse on a Tuesday, 104,000 square feet of pad rolls, LVP pallets, Mohawk samples, the same Pepsi machine you put in the break room in 2009. You sign the asset purchase agreement in a Modesto law office, the same kind of room your mom signed her divorce papers in. The wire hits Friday. You hand the C-15 qualifier paperwork to your GM of 9 years. You stay on a 12-month transition. You cut a personal check from the proceeds to the foreman who'd been there 22 years, the one who hands you his hard hat on the way out, and his wife cries when she sees the number. The kid in Bay 3 is making $14.90 an hour. He's pulling LifeProof off the rack at $2.99 a square foot for a homeowner who doesn't want to pay the Home Depot install fee. He doesn't know your name. He doesn't have to. The industry he just walked into loses 4,000 to 6,000 installers a year, and the average age in his trade is 56. He is one of 8,400 openings a year. The BLS projects through 2034, 6% growth, faster than the average for all occupations. You walk back through the Modesto warehouse one Tuesday morning, a year after the close. Same building, same Pepsi machine, different name on the title. The Roberts knee kicker you were handed at 17 sits in a glass case on the wall of the front office. Not yours anymore, but stenciled with your name. The BLS still says carpet installers and floor sanders have some of the highest rates of injuries and illnesses of all occupations, and your right knee still tells you when it's going to rain. You miss a Christmas with your daughter when she's 9, and she calls you on a Tuesday in October to tell you she's bidding her first tile job in Sacramento with your old crane stretcher in the truck. You drive past your mom's house on the way home. The carpet you ripped up at 17 is still gone. The LifeProof you laid for her at 22 is still down. The keys to the warehouse are on the hook by the door of the law office, and they're not yours anymore. But the truck in the driveway is free and clear, and your name is on the title.